You know that feeling, right? That sudden shock when you see a water stain on the ceiling or find a puddle spreading across your basement floor. It always feels like a random, out of the blue attack. But what if it's not? What if your home is actually being targeted by forces you can't even see?
We always say, oh, what bad luck, or that pipe must have just been old. But honestly, the truth is usually a whole lot more complicated. And, believe it or not, way more predictable than you'd think. It's really less about random chance and more about a series of calculated hits. So let's treat this like a real investigation. For the next few minutes, we're going to go full-on detective and unmask these hidden saboteurs that are lurking just outside and sometimes inside your own walls, literally turning your home against you. Okay, our investigation starts right here by identifying the actual culprits. And let me be clear, these aren't just random acts of chaos. Nope, they are consistent, predictable threats that know exactly how to exploit specific weaknesses in your home.
And boom, there it is, our first big clue. The thing is, these enemies, they leave a trail. If you just understand a few key details, like how old your house is, where it's located, and what kind of pipes you have, you can actually start to predict where and how they're going to strike next.
Now, to really see these forces in action, we need a solid case study. So we're opening a file on Hamburg, New York. It's a community that's basically dealing with a perfect storm of plumbing challenges. And its story, well, it reveals the universal threats that could be targeting your home as we speak. Our first suspects, it isn't a person. It's not even a faulty part. It's the world right outside your door. The climate itself can be your plumbing's most ruthless and relentless enemy. So in places like Hamburg, the main weapon is what's called the freeze-thaw cycle. And you got to think of this as a slow but incredibly powerful siege on your home. As the ground freezes solid, it expands and shifts, squeezing those underground pipes. Then, when it thaws, everything settles again. This constant push and pull puts this immense invisible stress on your home's entire foundation. So here's how that external pressure turns into an absolute internal disaster. It's the classic anatomy of a burst pipe. First, any water inside a vulnerable pipe freezes and expands. Ice needs more room than water, right? Well, with nowhere for that pressure to go, it literally splits the pipe wall clean open. But the final, devastating step, that's the thaw. The ice melts and all that water just gushes out of that brand new crack. And get this, freezing isn't the only weapon in the climate's arsenal. In our Hamburg case file, we see the heavy clay soil shifting around and cracking sewer lines. The high water table in the spring just completely overwhelms basement defenses. And even the water itself, which can be full of mineral deposits, is silently building up inside your water heater, slowly choking its efficiency and cutting its life short. Okay, so now let's turn our investigation inward. Because while the climate is launching attacks from the outside, some of the absolute most dangerous threats are already inside your home, working quietly, silently, right within your walls. And the number one internal enemy is, without a doubt, corrosion. If your home was built before, say, 1980, you might have these old galvanized steel pipes. The problem is they corrode from the inside out. They literally choke your water flow, turn your water a rusty color, and eventually spring these tiny, hidden pinhole leaks. Modern copper and PEX pipes, on the other hand, are designed to fight back against this internal decay.
Now, your plumbing system. It's smart. It will actually send out distress signals when it's under attack. And these are not just minor annoyances, okay? This is critical intel. That low water pressure, it could be those old pipes corroding and closing in. Discolored water, that's rust breaking free. That weird gurgling sound from your toilet, that could be a major blockage forming deep down in your sewer line. These are cries for help. And the enemy from within isn't always metal. For homes with older sewer lines made of clay, the threat can actually be alive. Tree roots are always looking for water, and they can infiltrate and completely shatter these pipes, leading to one of the absolute messiest and most destructive plumbing disasters you can imagine.
So it's not just the pipes. Even the devices we have that are designed to help us can turn into saboteurs. We rely on them every single day, but every appliance in your home has a built-in expiration date. Look at this number, 10 to 15 years. That is the average lifespan of a totally standard tank-style water heater. After a decade of loyal service, the risk of it failing goes up dramatically. It's really not a matter of if, but when. So I'll ask you directly. Take a second and really think about it. Do you have any idea?
That one piece of information could be the difference between a planned, easy replacement and an absolute emergency basement flood in the middle of the night.
And what about your home's last line of defense against flooding? The sump pump. It's a hero until it's not. The motor can just burn out. The little float switch that tells it to turn on can get stuck, or the line that carries the water safely away can freeze solid, turning your guardian into a useless box right when you need it the most. All right, we've unmasked the enemies. We've seen their tactics. Now let's close out our investigation by building a real defense strategy. Because here's the good news. You are not helpless against these forces. Not at all. Your best defense is a proactive offense. And this isn't complicated stuff. It's a simple checklist. Flushing your water heater once a year, that clears out all that harmful sediment. Testing your sump pump before the spring rains come, that makes sure it's ready for battle. Insulating your pipes before winter is like giving your home a coat of armor. Ultimately, you can't fight an enemy you don't even know is there. So, knowledge and just regular vigilance, those are your greatest weapons. A simple inspection can catch a tiny pinhole leak before it destroys an entire wall, or help you identify a failing part long before it causes a catastrophic flood. So, the next time you hear a strange gurgle from the toilet, or you notice the water pressure seems a little off, don't just ignore it. It's not just noise, it's intel. Your home is communicating with you. It's sending you warning signs of an impending attack. The only real question left is, are you paying attention?